Good morning and welcome to our webinar To Freelance or Not to Freelance. You probably subscribed because you want to become a freelancer. Great and congratulations. I hope the sound is good. Please don't hesitate to comment something in the chat box if I don't speak clearly enough or if there's too much background noise. I am Sophia from HRbuilders. And my colleagues, Cecile, Sigrun, and Maite are also joining the conversation. They will be happy to answer any questions that you put in the chat box. We know a lot of people are not happy in their professional life. A lot of people who stay stuck in the corporate rat race and they think about making a change. They don't do it for whatever reason, and some people want to make a career change, but they don't do it. Why? Often for fear of not having a steady income, for the insecurity or not being able to make it work on their own. Well, today we tell you your life can change by becoming a freelancer. And you should believe it, because if you don't like where you are, change it. You're not a tree. Welcome to our webinar. We want to give some insights in our way of working with freelancers. We cannot go into detail. However, should you have a question, you can type it in the chat box. And after the presentation, you can definitely contact one of our 3 international matchmakers, Cecile, Sigrun, or myself, Sophia. The 3 of us work in most West European countries. And soon, and this is a scoop, we will develop our activities in the USA also. Because of our backgrounds and nationality, we specialize in certain countries. Cécile is French and specialist in the French markets. Sigrun is Belgian, lived in Germany for a long time and knows that market very well. I'm based in Belgium, Brussels, however, also active all over Europe. Don't hesitate to call us, to mail us, or to follow us on Twitter. So what's the content for today's webinar? We will talk about market trends. Definitely, the market is ready for freelancing. Are you ready too? We will tell you something about HRbuilders. Who are we and what do we do? And of course, we will tell you something about our interim managers. Who are they and where do they come from? And definitely, what about the daily fee you can expect as a freelancer? And many other concerns like pension funds, sickness, uncertainty, etc. Last but not least, we will give you some contact details of partners we work with who can help you to set up your own company or your own structure. After the presentation, we will also send you the slides so you can look into detail what we presented here today. Let's start. Market trends. That's the first subject of today. And of course, we don't have to tell you that the world of employment is changing rapidly. Technological and demographic shifts, globalization, and the pursuit of happiness and well-being influence the workforce and the labor market profoundly. Hey guys, this is not a problem. It's a challenge, in my opinion. And I really don't like the word VUCA and the fear for change. People in World War II had more reasons to be afraid of uncertainty than we do. I like the expression of Peter Drucker. The greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence. It's to act with yesterday's logic. And I would like to share an interesting article delivered by Deloitte University. And I know we have people from Deloitte watching right now, people from Deloitte also considering becoming a freelancer. And I really invite you to Google this article, which is very good, after the webinar, to learn more about market trends. The new economy drives fundamental changes in the way we work, and Deloitte identifies 4 drivers. You can see them at the top of the slides. Demographic upheaval, and of course technology. Technology is everywhere, disrupting business models and radically changing the workplace and the way we work is done. Another drive for change is the speed in the exponential economy. The rate of change has accelerated enormously. Rapid business model innovation from companies such as, and you know them all, Uber and Airbnb, are forcing organizations to respond and reposition themselves quickly to tackle new challenges. And the 4th driver, and this is what it is all about today, is the new social contract between employer and worker. And this is a major trend, and it's not going to stop. There is a new social contract developing between companies and workers. And of course, what I'm telling you today is not new. However, the relationship between employee and employers is changing drastically. The days when a majority of workers could expect to spend a career moving up the ladder at one company are over. People anticipate working for many employers, and they demand an enriching experience at every stage. This leads to expectations of a compelling and flexible workplace and a sense of mission and purpose at work. The popular concept of work as a traditional 9-to-5 job with a single employer bears little resemblance to the way a substantial share of the workforce makes a living. Millions of the self-employed, freelancers, and temporary workers, as well as individuals renting out rooms on Airbnb, driving for Uber, or selling goods on eBay, are part of a significant trend that we call independent work. The survey of Deloitte confirms that the contingent workforce has gone global. Contingent workforce means people who don't have a permanent contract in a company. 51% of the people who filled in the survey of Deloitte said that they are sure that there will be a significant increase of the use of contingent workers in their company. And if you have a look here at the slide of total workforce management, then you can see what kind of different contracts a company can manage. And of course, the classical one is the fixed contracts. But did you also consider that total workforce management means managing freelancers, outsourcing, offshoring constructions, intercompany sharing, virtual teams, co-working platforms, and even drones and robots are making part of the total workforce management system of a company. In Harvard Business Review, we found recently this interesting article. Who wins in the gig economy and who loses? And in fact, we are very happy at HRbuilders because this article shows that we are right. Freelancing is the future. And who will win in this gig economy or in this freelance economy? Definitely you, the people who are workers with specialized skills and deep expertise. People who possess strong technical management leadership or creative abilities. And definitely also entrepreneurial workers will win. Why will they win? They will count on an attractive compensation. They can even choose to do challenging and interesting work. They can structure their own lives. So if you, dear listener, as an independent worker are comfortable with and excited about developing your own income stream, about marketing yourself and connecting with others, you are best positioned to take advantage of the main opportunities in the new economy. So the question is, are you comfortable with it? I will use some insights I could find in a study or a research made by McKinsey Global Institutes. I have the white paper, so if people want them that I share it with them, just send me a mail because it really gives interesting insights. Worldwide, freelancers represent a significant segment of all human resources. 1/3 of the workforce in the United States. So 1/3 are freelancers, and it's a figure expected to grow with 40% by 2020. In the UK, as you can see, 26%, in Sweden 28%, in France even 30% of the work population is freelancer, in Germany 25%, in Spain 31%. In Flanders, the freelancing community is growing each year by 5% and estimated on 135,000 people today. Conclusion: worldwide, freelancers represent a significant segment of all workforces. The freelancer economy is not going away. It's growing, and the best is yet to come. So if you consider becoming a freelancer, really don't hesitate, because on a global scale, we see that freelancing is increasing. Also a trend is that a lot of people in corporate organizations are not engaged with their jobs. A lot of people are unhappy. And we know in our experience that freelance people are far more happy if they are independent and working for themselves. Anyone who has ever felt trapped in a cubicle, annoyed by a micromanaging boss, or fed up with office politics, has probably dreamed of leaving it all behind and going it alone. The intensifying demands of corporate life are making the option of freelancing more appealing for millions of workers around the world. Another trend, and which we hear from client companies, is that support functions will disappear in the future. Overhead costs must be cut, so what will those big companies do? HR functions will disappear and the role will be taken by freelancers. A freelancer has expertise, a freelancer has added value from day one, and works on very specific subjects. If a company asks to a permanent position holder to do the same job, that means that that person needs to study. He has to learn how to do it because he never did it before. It takes time and it costs money. Already a lot of big companies know that if they work with a freelancer, they can have better results, save costs. So yes, the best is yet to come. So dear listener, I hope that I could convince you now that the market is ready, that everything is positive to start a freelance career. The main question is, are you ready to quit your boss and to start up your own business? We did some research in 2017 and we asked our freelance community if they would consider returning to a permanent position. And as you can see in the results, people who choose to become a freelancer find it very unlikely or unlikely to go back to a permanent position. Only 13% of the people who filled in our questionnaire considered going back to a permanent position. Also, a conclusion from the McKinsey report, most independent workers have actively chosen their working style and report high levels of satisfaction with it. What are the reasons to become a freelancer? First of all, the flexibility and freedom of choosing your own projects, when and where. As a freelancer, you can do different things in different contexts, in different industries, in different regions, and maybe, why not, in different countries, which definitely has an impact on your learning curve. And as we know from diverse researches, choice is a critical determinant of satisfaction in an individual's working life. From a flexibility perspective, we see the growing trend that companies and freelancers work together in a very flexible way. In our contracts, we can state that a person will work on average, let's say, 4 days a week, but depending on the workload of the moment, this can mean 1 day, and when there is really a lot of work, it can be even, okay, I will work in the weekends, and I will put that on my timesheet, and the client will pay for it. So very flexible in function of the work that is to be done. Some people have passion for their work and they like the possibility to focus on results without struggling with politics and power in a company. And really, people in freelancing positions experience that they have sometimes more impact than, and they are more respected than permanent positions holders. They are from outside, and people look at their independence, and it's as if they have more respect. Our findings on satisfaction are consistent with existing research from McKinsey and other researchers who similarly found that self-employed workers are substantially more satisfied than traditional employees. And this effect is consistent across a wide range of geographies. The most important driver of this difference with permanent workers is the increased autonomy independent workers enjoy and the fact that they tend to find the work they do more interesting. And sure, we are totally transparent within HRbuilders because this is one of our key values. Of course, there are disadvantages of freelancing. Freelancers also have their bad days, and there will be days of uncertainty. And we cannot guarantee that you'll be having a job permanently. And yes, it's difficult to plan ahead. Uncertainty is, of course, linked to the economic situation. And today, at HRbuilders, we have more assignments than freelancers. So for us, now it's difficult to close needs because all our good freelancers have work. They find it very easy to find new projects. Good freelancers really can choose in the HR market. In less certain economic times, we hear that freelancers sometimes choose a project that is less interesting or under their level of competencies. But what we also hear is that doing a project 100% within your comfort zone from time to time can also be nice. So advantages and disadvantages of freelancing. And yes, there is a lot to be done. Depending on the country where you live, policymakers have to do a lot of work, because for independent workers in a lot of companies, there is limited access to income security protection, such as unemployment insurance, workers' compensation, disability insurance. Minimum wage do not apply to freelancers. And also retirement security is a concern. The delivery of benefits is a key question. And in countries as Belgium, France, the Netherlands, UK, there are many solutions, but you have to do some research. So speak with experts, speak with people who can help, so as people with HRbuilders who can guide you through the possibilities. Independent workers, they also have work to do. You as an independent worker, you have differentiate your skills. You have to become an expert in a certain field, and that can be in HR for mergers and acquisitions. You can become a change expert, expert in employer branding, HRIS implementations, PMO, whatever. Make sure to become an expert, or I would say in the context of HR, being a very good generalist who is able to work in all kinds of settings, industries, and contexts. What kind of missions can an interim manager do? An interim manager helps companies to deal with unusual and complex situations, like restructuring. It can also be manage day-to-day operations. For example, when somebody is sick, when somebody leaves the company during maternity leave. About the duration, the missions or assignments within HRbuilders are on average from 6 to 18 and even more months. We have interim managers already on an assignment for more than 2 years. And most freelancers start with an assignment of 3 or 6 months, but almost always the contracts are extended. Why is that? Because most freelancers, they find more projects in the companies they work with. They see opportunities they help. They see opportunities to help. They see opportunities to save costs. And if they are able to prove the company that they will save money, the project is rather easily sold. If you're talking about uncertainty, then immediately I will ask the question, who can be sure today to have a job for life? And I repeat that good interim managers with a certain expertise, they really have the choice to choose their projects. How can you minimize uncertainty? Well, by developing a network. And that is really, really important for you as an interim manager. When you decide to become a freelancer, every day you should work on developing your network. And maybe you will think, oh my God, but I'm not commercial. I don't like to sell myself. I'm an HR expert. Well, that's no problem. Developing your network also means talking with agencies, talking with friends and families. Friends and family is the #1 way to find freelance work. Don't underestimate it when you are at a party. Tell people what you are doing. Tell people that you are freelancing, what your business is about. Also stay in contact with all your professional contacts. Look on social media. A lot of posts a lot of assignments you can find already on social media. And we at HRbuilders, we post a lot of our assignments on our website, on Twitter. There exists a lot of freelancing platforms where you can scroll and see which opportunities there are. Also on LinkedIn, more and more, I can see that companies are publishing their temporary assignments. So freelancers who develop good and long-term relationships with us as a matchmaker, people who attend our events, people who stay in touch, they really can be sure to be called regularly for new assignments. So that's something I always advise to people. Send us a mail from time to time. Tell us where you are. Keep us posted about your new projects. And we have some freelancers, we saw them 2 years ago maybe, and then they are saying, yeah, but you never call me. Yeah, it's difficult. We meet a lot of people, and the people who contact us regularly, well, they are top of mind, of course. So really, networking is a really important activity you should do and consider as a freelancer. So again, here are some insights in the way freelancers may find work. So friends and family is the #1 channel. HRbuilders. Who are we and where do we come from? This is our office boat, who is based in Ghent. We are an interim agency and we can help you to build up your freelance career. Our company values are commitments, authenticity, transparency, and enthusiasm. And HR is in our DNA. We all are ex-HR managers, people working in companies doing HR, so this is really our expertise. We are with 3 international business partners and we have 3 people in Belgium who are working on the Belgian markets. And the founder on the left of this page is Katrien de Vos. We believe in the concept of freelancing and the future of freelancing. And in our group, we also have a branch focusing on finance, payroll, and sales. HRbuilders is specialized in HR, only HR. But if you want to find out more about finance, payroll, and sales, have a look on our Value Builders websites. We have one niche, as I said. We only work in HR. We only work with freelancers. And we only work with temporary assignments, short-term, long-term, full-time, or part-time. So we only work with freelancers, meaning if you want to work with us, you need to be able to invoice. You need to be able to invoice via your own company or via an umbrella company, which is called in France portage salarial. And I will explain more about that later in the presentation. We don't ask exclusivity. You are a freelancer. However, you need to be able to invoice. The starting point is always a temporary assignment, a temporary need. Not meaning that it can't become a permanent assignment. We are flexible in that, and we also see that the difference between permanent and freelancing is becoming more narrow and narrow. So our starting point will be temporary, and the people in our network made the choice of becoming a freelancer. They are not on the lookout for a fixed position. We are #1 in our domestic markets in Belgium, and we have growing international presence in Europe. We have a network of more than 2,300 HR directors or managers screened in person. Every week, each of our matchmakers interviews several interim managers. This is really the core of our business. We ask our freelancers about preferences, specialties, language skills, what kind of countries you want to work in, what kind of missions you like. And today, on average, of those 2,300 people, 80 people are working for us. And we have 20 international projects running. I hear you say or think, wow, 2,300 people in their database and only 80 people are working for them? Yes, indeed. It really is a puzzle. And we have a lot of people that we know, okay, we like them, they are good in what they are doing. But each time, if we call them for an assignment, they are busy. So it's about good matchmaking, it's about knowing each other, and it's about finding each other on the right moment. If you're interested to do freelance work, don't hesitate to contact us to have an interview. We'll have a talk, and when we have an assignment that pops up, we give you a call, we exchange about it, and we can really quickly decide whether or not this assignment is interesting for you or not. Some numbers: we are 9 years in business, market leader in Belgium. We managed more than 400 assignments. 35% of our revenue is international. And we need only 1 week to solve a client's problem. We are really in a business where things are going fast. If a client calls us, he needs a solution as soon as possible in most cases. It's all about flexibility. We have more than 150 clients. Here you can have an impression of some of our clients. We work with global companies. We work with local companies in Belgium. And we are growing our presence in Europe, and sooner also we will work in a more global perspective. Dream big is also one of the slogans our captain likes to use. We are growing, as I said, and we are very proud to be able to show you how we are growing. So in Belgium in 2014, we had 47 assignments. And now in 2017, until present, so until end September, we already have 66 assignments. Internationally, we started in 2014 with 8 assignments. This was our startup year. And now today, end of September, we have 28 persons worked for us. And the best is yet to come. What kind of assignments do we manage in Europe? As you will see on this chart, 26% of our assignments are for generalists, meaning HR directors, HR business partners, or HR managers. We have a lot of talent acquisition positions, and that can be from recruiting to talent acquisition, project manager to build up a global strategy. A lot of HRIS projects in the last months, in fact. So if this is your specialty, really take contact with us, because we need all kind of people in implementation of Cornerstone, Workday, but also in global change projects, going hand in hand with the implementation of a new system. 26% specialists in soft HR, in the domain of learning and development, talent management, change management, communication management in the context of a big change project. And of course, we also have the classical ones, social relations and restructuring. But should you have questions about, is it possible for me to have assignments with HRbuilders following your expertise? Just take contact with us and we will discuss in detail your specific expertise linked with our assignments and projects. On our website, you can see these kinds of postings, because most of the assignments we have, we post them on our LinkedIn page and on Twitter. We post a little information about the assignments, and we then ask you to contact the person who is mentioned in the announcements. That is the HR matchmaker, who can give you more details and who can exchange with you in order to discuss if the assignment is suitable or not for you. And as I said, as a self-employed professional, it's really important that we know you, that we personally know you. So try to meet us and stay in contact. Send us up-to-date mails, where you are, what projects you did, when you are available. Also try to attend our workshops. We organize regularly seminars, and now we have a webinar because this is a webinar for international people. But in Belgium, we organize regularly workshops where we can meet each other. And in October, we will have the To Freelance workshop for Belgian people, focused on the Belgian market with Belgium solutions. These are pictures about the workshop we did in France. We will have another workshop in France end of November. In February, we will have a workshop in Munich. But it's really important to meet us, and it can be virtually by Skype or via internet. But it's always good to meet in person. So for the international guys who are watching right now, if you want to meet us, send us a mail. Very regularly, we are in other countries, so we are always keen on having a coffee together and build a relationship, because in our business, it's all about long-term relationships. The better we know you, the better we can match you to the right assignments. So again and again, and I will repeat it again, networking is really important for you as a freelancer. Don't underestimate it. And when you are working, when you have an assignment, it is difficult to keep in touch, because then you are fully in your work, you are busy, working long days. But then, the day that your assignment stops, then it takes a lot of time to reactivate your network again. So try to meet your network, stay in contact, and send regularly a mail. These are pictures of real entry managers that work or have worked for us. We have people who worked for us in London. On the picture, you will see a Danish girl who worked for us in Paris. We have a Turkish girl who worked for us in Paris, an Italian guy who worked in Venice, an Italian lady who worked in London. So we have very international people who are mobile, who can do assignments in different countries. And of course, we have a lot of Belgian people who are doing projects in Belgium. So whatever country you're from, just try to contact us, and we will see if we can give you a nice assignment. And somebody from the Middle East asked me yesterday in a mail, okay, how can I work with HRbuilders? Well, then I would say the best option is that you live in Europe, because a client is not always prepared to pay for the big commuting costs. So we will always try to find a person who is able to live closely to the office. But if you are prepared to pay yourself for commuting costs and hotel, then for the client, there is only one thing that matters, and that is expertise. If you are the right person on the right position, well, then I'm sure that we can figure out something. So don't hesitate to contact us. We can get to know you, and maybe one day we will work together. As a freelancer, it's also important to stay really updated. You need to be kind of a trendsetter. If you come in a company, they expect you as a freelancer to tell them what are the new trends. You have to be able to show that you are an expert. So you should follow webinars. You also should think about your own development. Go to trainings, HRbuilders is organizing workshops. Freelancers are giving these workshops, they are for free, and during that workshop you can network again and you can learn something. We are already arrived at chapter 5, where I will tell you something more about the daily fee. Because all the other stuff that I told you, okay, it's important, but yeah, of course, you will work for a living. So what can you as a freelancer expect as a daily fee? And it's a bit tricky to tell you about daily fees because it depends on the scope of the assignment. It depends also on the country. It even depends on the industry. It's definitely that you will earn more money in the chemical sector as if you are working in the retail sector because of the margins who are so small. It depends also on the length of the assignment. So it's difficult to give you average figures, so be aware of that. But it's also important to give you an idea about what you can earn. So therefore, we wanted to include this also in our webinar. And we consider 3 levels, in fact. As an interim manager, you can work on a strategic level, on an organizational level, and on an operational level. A strategic interim manager, well, that person will help analyzing the situation in the company and will help the client to define what to do and how to do it. A manager working on organizational level, for the organization, the company, it's clear what needs to be done. However, the interim manager will be responsible for the how. He is responsible for coordination, the quality, the output, project planning, setting up a team, managing the team even. The strategy, however, is already defined. So a less complicated assignment. And then a third level, the operational entry manager executes a well-defined internal practice or project. So everything is clear, the framework is clear, and this can be kind of a recruiter job, for example. All the tools are there, the process is clear, the recruiter comes in and everything is up and running. What is the scope in terms of geography? A person operating on strategic level can do that on global, regional, or local level. And with local, I mean one country. With region, I mean several countries. And global, well, global, it's logic, but can also be EMEA or a part of the globe, in fact. In terms of years of experience, for strategic jobs, an organization will expect at least 15 years of experience. But of course, if you are looking for an expert in digital transformation, it will be difficult to find somebody with experience of 15 years in that domain. So these are averages. So it's just to give you an indication, but I don't want to be, I don't want to say that it's really very strict or without any flexibility. So what are the fees you can expect? For an operational interim manager, the minimum wage, the people that are working for HRbuilders will earn 500 euros a day. So meaning that you will send us an invoice for 500 euros a day. The max will be around 750 euros. But it can change. If you work in Paris, for example, cost of living is higher. It can be more. And if our company it's really strategic, this position, it can be more. So again, I repeat, this is only an indication to give you an idea. Our strategic entry managers, they can count on a daily fee of 700 euro, up to €1,500. €1,500 is really the maximum fee that we could ask for. And again, think about it. This is for assignments of 6 months, even a year or longer. So if you as a freelancer are able to invoice each day between €500,000, well, then you can earn your money. And we say in Belgium that to have a good life as a freelancer, then you should be able to invoice €10,000 a month. For the Dutch people who are watching, I know that you count in a fee per hour. So it's strange for you guys to think about the daily fee. And in the Netherlands, it's between €80 per hour and €120, €130 per hour that you can invoice. What are key freelancer concerns? Because you have, on the one hand, you have the fee you can ask for, but on the other hand, you also will have to pay for healthcare insurance. What for situations where you're sick? What about saving for retirement? These are key freelancer concerns, and you should be concerned about that. So it's really important also, if you consider becoming a freelancer, to really also analyze these kind of concerns in your specific country. We can help you with that, and we also can propose you some external partners to help you with that. And there are several possibilities. If you want to set up your own company, then we can advise you to contact Multipen. We already work for a long time with them. They can go into detail in your business plan, the costs you have to take into account, etc. And internationally, definitely look for a good bookkeeper, a good lawyer, talk with people in your network. I'm sure that you will find people who can advise you or refer you to good bookkeepers, because this is really the start of a good freelancing business. Make sure that everything is stable, that you are prepared for the future, that you are prepared also for certain risks. And definitely, if you don't know a person in your network who is freelancer, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Again, we know a lot of people in different countries. We can definitely put you in contact with a person who can help you out. So you can set up your own company, and another option is working via an umbrella company. This is called portage salarial in France. And an umbrella company is kind of a company who will help you with all the paperwork, and they will serve as an intermediary between you, the contractor, and the clients. They will organize for you the payment for your work. So if you have your own company, you are independent and you take advantage of a variety of methods for minimizing taxes, etc. But you take full responsibility for your own financial affairs. And if you don't have an assignment, you will not be paid for it. Working via an umbrella company, in that case, you are an employee and therefore eligible for a salary and national insurance contributions. They are also taking care of your paperwork, back office administration, and the taxes are higher. We see a lot of people who are not 100% sure if they want to become a real independent and who are a bit afraid of setting up their own company. Well, they choose for setting up working via an umbrella company. It's a very quick system. It's very fast. We have good experiences with them. So again, if you need more information about the possibilities here, do contact us. We have good connections in France. In Paris, you can contact Marion Delaunay. In Lyon, Florence Bouteille. And we have an agency that is working internationally for people who are working internationally. which is called Sage. And you can take contact with Bernard Rosente. He will be very glad to help you out. He can do simulations, etc. So these people, we know them well. They will be happy to help you. I can also provide you companies in the UK or in the Netherlands, but please do contact me or one of my colleagues, and we will be happy to help you with this. I also wanted to share with you two websites, and sorry for the international people, but you can find a lot of information on the web about freelancing, and it's also something I really would advise to you if you consider freelancing. On the web, there is a mass of information, and in Belgium, a good website that could help you out is Next Economy. An initiative that is set up in collaboration with Zipconomy, which is a Dutch market leader in freelance communication and information. So have a look at those websites. They give a lot of information. A lot of white papers are also available on the net. Personally, I really liked the white paper of McKinsey, Independent Work Choice, Necessity, and the Gig Economy. As I said before, if you want to read it, if you want to receive it, just send me a mail and I can send it to you. So I am here at the end of my story. I hope it was kind of clear. Of course, it's difficult to do it for an audience that can't interact directly with me. It was a rather broad and general presentation about To Freelance or Not. I could talk about it for more hours, go into more details, but this is maybe not the right channel to do that. But again, don't hesitate to contact us. We are there for you. We have colleagues in Belgium also who can help the Belgian people out. And depending on your question, we will connect you with the right person to support you. We believe in the future of freelancing. It's our job to connect great HR people. We would like to thank you for your attention. And I have here a message that there is a problem with the Multipan phone number. I will have a look. Indeed, wow, somebody really looked into the details. The number of Multipan should be 0032, of course, because it's a Belgian agency. Thank you for this remark, Eddie. I would like to thank you for your attention. Don't hesitate to contact us. And if you go for it, well, really, really good luck. And I'm sure that we will meet each other again. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.